I was a member of my organization that participated at the original training course at Nice in August 2019. So I was responsible to transmit local training, the knowledge that I got from Nice to the people in Athens.
Participant and also gave few ideas about the energizers.
My role was to organize and involve young people to come and participate in these projects, and I told them about the theme that we must talk about.
One of the trainers, the facilitators, and also I helped with the organization of the training.
Participant, but I hope to be a facilitator soon, also in January, when we will make another project.
Facilitator, but also coordinating with the other two team members about the implementation, the booking of the venue, logistical arrangements. Yeah.
More of a coordinator, sometimes a trainer, somewhere in between.
One of the 23rd participants, and actually it is the first time that I am getting involved in the training like this. So I didn't do much, but I hope in the next activities I will be more productive.
Part of the organization, but in the local training I was just a participant because I didn't knew about this new method and the weekend manual.
Yes, I think it's an efficient method. For example, at the original training course at Nice, we focused on fighting against hate speech with counter narratives through memes on the internet and through videos posted on social media, which are, in my opinion, two methods very popular, especially to the young people. It's something very short, it's something very to the point, and it's something that achieves the goal to fight against hate speech.
Yes, I think it is. I can't say for sure that it's the most efficient way, but for sure it's one of the best ways to fight the hate speech.
Actually, I think this method is really good, but besides this, we also need to continue practicing another different methods. So all the methods combined can actually contribute to the fight against hate speech.
I believe that counter and alternative narratives are a very good solution in raising awareness, in combating especially the counter alternative, in combating directly many topics that we face on a daily basis. Participants really loved the idea of using like creative methods, not just like writing a status or something. And they were really impressed with it. They were not familiar with the weekend manual, so it was something new for them. And the thing that they actually had the biggest impact is also the use of the words, jokes, especially the jokes, because we do many jokes, and how the real meaning behind it and how it can offend the entire ethnic group.
It's a really like simple things like the weekend manual and the use of counter and alternative way to fight against hate speech. But I never thought about like use, for example, an alternative message to fight against this, because it's so easy, but you never think about it, and like see like a manual and that everything is right written on it, and that someone else like thought about it and how to use it. This was really nice, and really even for me, it was not the first time that I take part in a project with Hate Fighter, for example, but it was like really nice and I improved.
Participants focused on training very well. They want to participate more on projects like this to make this project better.
All participants were very pleased to be part of this training, and they learned a lot about hate speech and even how to fight against it and how to feel more protected for themselves.
My opinion about it was formed because of the local trainings and the way that people actually responded to it. Everybody that was involved participated, and they tried their best, but it's a really difficult method to make it agile. It's really static, it's a lot of thinking, and not really something that immerses a big mass of people to do something.
Participants were basically teenagers, were 25 teenagers aged between 13 and 18. So they go to school, they have a normal life, and they had, of course, they have some experience about fighting against discriminations, but all this thing about discourse was very new to them. So after they get familiar with the basic aspects of this issue, they were very surprised to realize how much hate speech there is in their daily life.
Pretty good, I'd say, because I saw that everybody was trying to give their best for the training, and everybody seemed happy in the end, and even their determination was surprisingly increased, even their motivation.
So basically our targeted group was young people from the local schools in Niš, and they were actively participating in all activities, and my opinion is that they had a lot of fun learning this new method, and a lot of them got their first steps to learn to know how to combat against hate speech.
Really important to do it into school. We haven't done it in Italy into school, but I think it's really useful, and it's a really interesting things to do it in the specific target of people that use a lot the internet but they didn't have all the instruments and all the tools to have a really polite etiquette and a really kind and useful effect on the others thanks to the internet and the social media. So I think that doing it into the high school, or especially maybe middle schools, will help a lot of people because they will be taught how to have a good behavior on the net and so how to be better humankind actually.
So far it has been wonderful and great everything, but the one thing that I really want in the future is to be done again and to increase the length of the training, because 6 days maybe might not be enough.
Involve and encourage more people in these projects and do better things and focus on this.
I think we should start encouraging people to share their stories and tell other people how they felt and how they dealt with hate speech, and maybe the victims of hate speech will feel more courage and will have the enough strength to go through this, because it's very difficult.
More people have the opportunity to get trained on how to fight against the hate speech. Not only youth organizations in my country, but also inside the schools and other public sector bodies.
Of course, we have to use narratives, but we need to change the way they're applied. We need to force the theory out and bring it more into practice. So instead of discussing them on like a debate level, we should actually try to figure out how to make practical ways to explain those narratives. Maybe like some plays with actors that define the situation, or reenact cases and then bring out discussion, because discussion is maybe a little more productive after such an introduction, instead of having a presentation where they go like, okay, so this is how you do it.
So basically, personally I like this method, but it is a little bit hard, especially for the young people, and they are our target group. So maybe we can plan and reorganize like the manuals, the workshops, and to adjust this whole method to the young people specifically, to help them improve and to learn more about the hate speech and then other methods.
I believe that the first thing we have to do is prepare a portable toolkit for facilitators in the usage of the counter and alternative manual, because the weekend manual is quite heavy on theory, therefore unless you're familiar with it, it's very hard for young people to just pick up the manual and read through it. So a toolkit for facilitators, for young facilitators, would be good, and also a youth-friendly version of it. And shorter, not make it a compass book, but shorter and really in detail, put different examples there so people can relate to it. And maybe more translations.
I hope that my dream, and maybe also your dream will become true, and so to have a good kind effort on everybody. So peace and love.
Spread love to yourself and to everyone else, because hate is not a way to go through life.
Love yourself, love the others. Live and let live.
Stop hate speech. Let's dance for peace.
The words that you choose are the words that impact other people. Use your words properly, and hate speech is not part of the freedom of speech. It's just a part that we use to offend other people. Therefore, stop hate speech, no hate speech, hashtag.
Thank you.
Thank you.